Hello again, people. Yes, the good and bad of soggy nuts. Yeah. Uh, we live here in Hawaii, and we just spent the last 2 weeks on the mainland, and we took everybody when we went some macadamia nuts. Now, it's been so wet over here on the island, and it's been so moist on the big island because it had the hurricanes, and it just won't seem to stop raining. And that is where the major part of the macadamia nuts are, wow, shirt's too big, are grown and packaged. And so at the time, some of them were getting a little soggy, and there's nothing worse than biting into a soggy potato chip or a soggy macadamia nut. So when we took the macadamia nuts to our friends, they got some soggy nuts, and yeah, they are not good. No. Fortunately, I think they've got it kind of under control. One of the producers was taken totally off the shelves, and then another producer, because it's on the south end of the island, and it got hammered pretty hard. The orchards and stuff, the macadamia nut orchards, got hammered pretty hard with the volcanoes over there. And so the Hamakua company, which is on the north end of the island, did not get hammered as bad. And they're the ones that make all the flavors I like. So they all make flavors I like. Anyway, so we're back to the soggy nut area. Now, there's good things about soggy nuts, and that's because we live here on the islands. That's about the only good thing about soggy nuts that I can think of. As I said, we spent 2 weeks on the mainland. We call that the United States of America part where we're not. The big island. Yeah, right. And we were in Miami, not Miami, but Orlando for what is called a mastermind group. It's where a bunch of we happen to be in the direct sales business, and it's a direct sales convention for all the different direct selling partners of not partners, how would I say it, consultants of each different company. Some are actually company owners, and others are different from companies from all over the world. And it's a great place to go and learn and find out the bigness of the business. Direct sales. I love direct sales. I always have. Joined my first direct sales company in 1977, maybe 78. That was Amway. Amway is still the largest direct sales company in the world. And there's a bunch of others, and we happen to belong to one now, and I won't mention the names because it's not important. I love the direct sales distribution method. I loved it before it was taught in business school and before it was mainstream. What I did learn at this, and I've been going to conventions and for different companies and different industries, both in brick and mortar businesses and direct sales businesses. And as I stated earlier in another video there, I found that there are basically 4 kinds of speakers or trainers or motivators, or, well, I guess one of them is a motivator. And that's the ones that just basically recite information. And information is great. I love information. It gives me something to work with, but it really most of the time doesn't get me excited. It does some people, and that's good. Then there's the motivation, which can be either fear, love, or a combination of the two, which makes you get all excited and rah, 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 and maybe lift that weight while you're right there and do some extra push-ups or something like that. But motivation usually ends about the time you walk out of the event, because the only thing that can motivate you is between your 2 ears. Another one is inspiration. and inspiration, as far as I am, as my belief system goes, inspiration is one step above motivation, because if I get inspired to do things, I may or may not become motivated to do things, and therefore I do stuff. Inspiration is great. They're original thoughts. We all need it, and we all actually live by it if we actually knew that. It's hot. Man, I'm not used to this humidity. It's still raining and crazy hot here. I guess it's not crazy hot. It's 10 o'clock at night and it's 85 degrees, and there's no air conditioning or anything in these houses here. So when it's 85 outside, it's 85 inside, which is good sometimes. When it's winter outside and it's 60 degrees and the wind's blowing and it's 90% humidity, it creates soggy nuts. And then the other type of trainer and motivator, or coach, if you want to call it that, mentor, is one that is transformational. And transformational, I think, takes all three of the others and helps their mentees become better than they already are, by helping us transform our ways of thinking. In other words, change our ways of thinking. And therefore we can believe more, see more, do more, all of that kind of stuff. I have done all the different ones in trainings throughout the years, and I'm finding that for me in order for me to be authentic, and in order for me, because I love the truth, and I'm not really much of a blow the smoke kind of person. I want to give something to somebody that they will use to transform their life, and therefore become better people, become better parents, become better employees, and more than anything, I do trainings for my team and other people in the direct sales business. So from now on, I will be focusing mostly on what is called transformational teaching, coaching, whatever. It's relatively new. Last 5 to 10 years, we get we got The Secret, and we got all of those things. Actually, those were old time thoughts and old time books that the new coaches and trainers of the age have learned how to market, and therefore we get excited and we buy their books, and they all say the same. Basically, I think they all say the same thing in a different way, and which is exactly what I do, because there's not anything new out there in the universe as far as thinking goes. There are more things coming neurologically proven. We can prove now neurologically that the subconscious actually controls us, not the conscious. The subconscious answers a question or reacts some kind of millimeter seconds before it comes out of our mouth. So unless we stop and think and actually override the data that's going through our minds, we will just continue to do the same things over and over again, and we know what that gets us. Crazy. I have been all of them. I have done all of them. Like I said, I've been doing this since I started my first business when I was 11 or 12. And since then, I have had numerous different businesses, and some were more successful money-wise than others. I don't know that I lost money on any of them. But I know that I have been more successful in some than others. What I did learn in the last 40 or 45 years is that there is how not to do things. I myself am not a big direct seller. I just am not willing to do the things that you need to do in the direct selling business in order to be super successful financially. I know what to do. I just seems like I push back against a lot of stuff and fight a lot of things, and that is okay if that's what you want. It took me years to admit that to myself, and I believe in authenticity, honesty. I'm not real big into vulnerability because I'm just not a very trusting person, and I still wait for the other shoe to drop, and for if I'm too vulnerable to too many people, then I'm waiting to get stabbed in the back, and so I choose not to do that. So I will be as authentically staged as I can, and because Becca, my wife, likes me to look good, and she'd be upset if I had this shirt on, and maybe she wouldn't. She said I have to quit saying that. Anyway, folks, we are going to be doing more thought stuff, because we have found in our businesses, and we are successful in the top 1% of the earners in the United States, and the top 5, in fact, the top 1% of our company. In fact, we have 2 companies, one direct sales and one internet sales. We manufacture products, so I know by what I speak. I will work at not blowing what I call blowing smoke. I will tell you as honestly and truthfully things that I can, and we will begin at the next YouTube to go through the steps, or the 5, I call the 7, what I was taught as the 7 life principles, or the laws of the universe that control all of us, whether we like it or not. And we will learn those and learn how we can use them for our betterment. We can use them, yes, to make money. We can use them, yes, to manipulate people. We can use them, yes, to do a lot of things. I know one thing's for sure: when you get your mind straight, then the rest will fall in line, and you will do the things that you want to do, choose to do, and need to do. And therefore, most of them hopefully will be shorter than this, because I found that I don't like to watch long YouTubes. So we will start next time. I'm 3 or 4 behind one of my mentors, who gave me a challenge to do one of these for every person that they brought into the business, and he gave me a reprieve because we were on the mainland and we were busy, and so you might get a few back to back. Anyway, you guys have a great, wherever it is, whatever you are, whether it's daylight, nighttime. Here it happens to be 12. I don't know what time it is here. Wow. It says it's 12:56, but I don't think it is. It's 9:56. And I guess that's the time of the YouTube. Anyway, have a great whatever you've got going. Bye-bye.